Hello, I would like to welcome James Burke to my web series. James Burke is a science historian, author, television producer, and a futurist. He has written for Scientific American, New Scientist, Vogue, Time magazine, and the Encyclopedia Britannica Online. He has created and presented many television shows for the BBC, including the major television series Connections and The Day the Universe Changed. James Burke has lectured to audiences worldwide, including at the Smithsonian, MIT, NASA, IBM, Microsoft, the European Parliament, and the U.S. National Security Agency. He is currently in the process of developing a new Connection series about our future. The fact that I'm even able to video call James Burke, who's on the other side of the planet, is a technological marvel in itself. I understand you've prepared a presentation for us using your project that you've been working on for several years, which is the Knowledge Web. Could you explain it? And
I can. I don't know if I can show it to you because I haven't done this before, but let me see if I can get it up on the screen. This is the thing I've been working on for a long time. As you can see, it has the name of a person in the middle, a node, I call it. And what you're seeing is the principal linkages to that person in terms of their life and their career and blah, 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 okay? So here we have Mozart, the composer, and below the little tag it says music, music. And here's one of his contacts, but CPE Bach, music again. Most of them are actually music, but I can show you how you travel through this. There are about 2,900 people on here, linked about 30,000 ways. And the name of the game is to travel through the knowledge web, finding out new connections. So, for example, can I tell you this little story, for example?
Say you start with this guy, Spallanzani, Italian university professor. In 1765, way ahead of Pasteur, he discovers germs, and that if you boil up food, that kills the bugs and preserves the food. Now take a look at Spallanzani's contacts. Watch the pop-ups. See how Spallanzani's connections are all in science, as you'd expect? Except for this guy, Brian Donkin, an English engineer, who tries Spallanzani's germ theory idea with food boiled up in tin containers, and in 1812 invents canning. OK, watch the pop-ups again. Most of Donkin's web connections are engineers, like him, except again for one who isn't. This guy, Sir William Congreve, Major General, and then politician. Congreve and Donkin worked together at one point on printing the new postage stamps. Congreve also invents the Congreve rocket, a knockout success, as in rocket's red glare, in 1812, observed by Francis Scott Key, who writes a song about what's going on at the time. What's going on is the British Navy attack on Fort McHenry, and Key is a prisoner of war on one of the attacking British ships, commanded by Captain Thomas Cochrane, whose dad is Archibald Cochrane, penniless aristocrat who owns a few tin pot coal mines, and in 1784 is cooking coal to make pitch to waterproof ships' bottoms when he discovers that the gas the coal gives off can be lit. Bingo! Gaslight! And then a ton of waste byproduct gunk called coal tar. In 1850, this coal tar muck is investigated because it's full of chemicals by English chemist William Perkin, who's looking to find a way of making artificial quinine, but instead comes up with the world's first artificial aniline dye. It's cheap, so suddenly it's a colourful world. Everybody wants some. Chemist Perkins' connections are, as you'd expect, mostly to other scientists, but with an eye to the unexpected again, here's one who isn't. He's an American, Charles Goodyear, who runs a hardware store and turns to invention to pay his bills. Back in 1844, he's accidentally invented vulcanized rubber, later on used, together with Perkins' aniline, to make tyres. Then in 1889, the Goodyear Company produces rubber gloves for surgeons, and to make it easier to get these gloves on and off, they're dusted with stuff called lycopodium powder, made from the spores of a moss. OK, hold that thought. In 1938, a guy called Carlson takes another of Perkins' coal tar byproducts, anthracene, spreads the anthracene on a zinc plate, then rubs the plate with a silk handkerchief to give it a positive electrical charge. On top, he then places a glass slide with writing on it. Shine a bright light onto the plate through the glass slide. The electrical charge on the plate dissipates except where the writing is. Sprinkle lycopodium powder, mixed with carbon black particles, onto the plate. Then blow off the powder, leaving some of it sticking to the plate, which is still electrically charged and attracts the powder, but only where the writing image was. Press paper onto the plate and voila, a copy of the writing. Thanks to lycopodium powder plus anthracene, the world's first photocopy. Change almost always happens like that, when two things come together that never came together before and cause 1 and 1 to make 3. And the secret to predicting change is identify the 1 and 1 ahead of time, and you're better placed to predict the innovation it's going to cause. And the knowledge web is a great place to practice that trick.
If you want to make a note, there is an attempt to show how it works on a site called k-web.org. And that's the sort of home site for the K-Web as it's being built.
I understand you're going to make it into a mobile app eventually.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe I can do some convincing with my teachers to make this be used in a classroom.
Okay. Well, we can stay in touch about that. I don't know how soon that's going to happen. I've got a fellow at the University of California who is the kind of project manager, although he's a bit busy and I'm a bit busy, so things go very slowly. So, it's not going to go away. And if you and I stay in touch, yes, of course, you can become involved. Yeah, of course.